Welcome to week 12 in rural valuation. This week we look at one of the important tools for the rural valuer, and that's the geographical information systems. There's really a whole bunch of them, but as a class of tools, they really replace the paper maps that rural valuers once went out with. And for that matter, it's good to be aware of what you can do even if your batteries go dead and you don't have your geographical information system available to tell you exactly where you are. I guess one of the important things if you want to look like you belong in the bush is to be able to kick around amongst it without necessarily needing your mobile phone out all the time. So perhaps we're a little bit too dependent on GIS systems, especially things like Google Maps. But these are very useful tools. They speed up the process of collating all the different data which is useful to understand a property, and so they really do streamline our work. It's a nice topic, I think, to round off the unit, and I hope that at this point, at the end of our term, you're able to see the unit pretty much as a whole, to get a bit of a feel for what it's sought to show you, to what skills that it's given you, and so on. I find that whenever you study a subject, especially at university, as you get to the end of the term, it's good to look back and really reflect on, what is the purpose of this unit been? How does it fit together as a set of concepts that communicate something of substance? Rural valuation, I think we've covered just about every useful rural land use in Australia. Maybe we've missed out a couple, or at least in detail. But I hope that at this point you've had some experiences that have caused you to be able to look fondly back on the rural sector, especially if you come from the city. And if you come from the bush, at least to have the confidence to know that you can earn your keep here in the regions without necessarily having to go down to a capital city to find a job. Rural Australia, as we started off saying, is an important part of the Australian economy, and for that matter, the Australian society, even though it doesn't account for nearly as big a proportion of the community as it once did. Okay, that's pretty much the end of the term. I wish you well in the exam and hope you've enjoyed the unit. Oh, don't forget to fill out the student evaluation survey, and that really finishes off our term. So all the best with your valuing, and I rather hope that more of you than probably originally set out expecting to find yourselves interested in pursuing rural valuation as part of your career.